I briefly would like to talk about how I started, what was my thought process when I was young, when I was just out of the college, and what happened all through my journey, and where TynorOrthotics is today, and what are the values and what are the key learnings I got from my own journey. I would like to share with you. Maybe it helps you in your journey to success. Well, I tell you, I did my master's in pharmaceutical sciences from Panjab University, and I always were, having a dilemma in my mind, what to do next. Now, degree is over, whether to go in for a job or doing my own business. I know that yes, job had security, no risks. Job involved no initial grind, no hard labor. Job would give me a lot of time for myself, for my hobbies. I was a great sportsman. And then, so it was like, there were lots of stakes that you will put of your entire life into one thing. If you go into a business, so either you are zero or a hero. So on the other hand, when I would think of going in for business, I would say, oh, it's a big opportunity to lead and grow big. So business offered an opportunity to influence the society. It offered an opportunity to, in fact, earn a lot of money. I come from a humble family. The desire for earning a lot of money was actually very strong. To own a Mercedes, a Maserati, or a Rolls Royce was the dream then. So, and of course, contribute to the growth story of the country. An opportunity to become famous. So all these points, would be the debate going inside my mind all the time. But overwhelmingly, the mind would say, no, the second is better. So I jumped into the business, thought of going into the business. But then, as any startup, the initial difficulties are always the same. So what product to manufacture and where to get the know-how from, how to market these products, and the biggest of them is the capital, where to get the money from. So how I solved all these issues, I would like to share with you today. So what to manufacture? See, I knew that I am from the medical field, so I will go into healthcare for sure. But what product? I went for a very organized survey. So those days were not Google days. I'm talking of 25, 26 years back. So you had to go physically do all the things. So I organized a market survey which had very clear objectives. One, of course, that a product has to be from the medical field. Low capital to start with. I had no capital. It should have very good demand. It should have very high profits. And the most important, I thought, was the scalability, the possibility that tomorrow the business could be scalable to a bigger level. Even if I start small, tomorrow it can grow big. So I actually visited 8 cities, and each city I did 100 chemists. So I thought they are the best people to tell me what is required in the market. So 800 chemists that I visited, I kind of created a data, and then analysis told me, yes, one product, orthopedic appliances, is what India needs the most. For some reason, there was only one company manufacturing it, and the demand was very high. So all the objectives that I had initially started with were fulfilled in this product line. I had no idea what this product was, but then the survey clearly told me all this. But I'm very happy to see that I am in the line for the last 22, 23 years, and the time has proven us right that yes, we picked up the right product. That was the real reason of the success that we can talk of today. So I was talking of the know-how. You will be surprised or you'll laugh at the fickle approach that I then opted for. I started writing letters to all the companies of the world, the biggest ones, and asking them for the technology. And they replied back. So those days were the letters, so you send the letters and they would come back. Of course, they would ask me about my credentials. They would ask me how much money I could pump in. And I wanted the technology for free and I had no credentials. Obviously, nothing matured. But in the process of negotiating and talking to these companies, the best in the world, I could get a lot of peep into the working of all these companies. The unique selling features, the material they were using, even something about the technologies they were using, and heaps of product catalogs. Just getting the catalogs from around the world was a big thing for me then. Some technical papers and some product samples. So this is what I got out of my first initial effort. And I knew more than anybody else in the country about these products. Just reading those documents. You won't believe, India was very, very primitive in these products when I'm talking of 25 years back. So what I did, I was still not having the technology. I went to a small manufacturer, Trans-Yamuna, Delhi. There was a cottage industry. And I asked him if he could manufacture for me. And then I said, I will help you to improvise your product. And he was happy to see the big order that I was kind of guaranteeing him, and he joined me. So the know-how part partly was covered. And then came, the marketing part, how to sell these products. Again, I used all the myths of that period to create an illusion of a big brand. So I had an address of Mumbai on it, Bombay we used to call them. So on my letterhead, because people thought all the good companies come from Bombay. Then I had a collaboration, which was just a paper between one of my cousins who was living in US, and it was a drawing and design collaboration document, right? So it had no meaning, but the paper said we were collaborated. And a very nice European sounding orthopedic company named TynorOrthotics, and a multicolored catalog. So only big companies would have catalogs those days. So we got the catalog printed, attractive boxes. Nobody was selling our products in boxes, and we had boxes, and they were selling in polybags, and a nice business card. So what happened that I'll put my M.Pharm degree and sales manager, whenever I present my card, they say, oh, I am M.Pharm guy who's coming for the sales. The company must be very big. So we will do a launching ceremony in a big hotel in a very nice way. We would ask for some deposit. If you want the dealership of our product, we would ask for 20,000. 20,000 was a very big amount, I tell you, 25 years back. But you won't believe that everything came so easy to us. It was so successful. Every time that we would do a launching ceremony, people of the city who were into distribution of these products or similar products would queue up, and they would talk about that they are ready to give us the deposits also and ready to buy our products on advance basis. Now, know-how came from the Delhi company, one of the slums in Trans-Yamuna. The improvisation came from the foreign catalogs and brand building using all the myths of the time. But, I forgot about the capital. You know why I forgot about the capital? Because capital was not required. We were buying from that manufacturer, and we'll pay after 90 days. We would sell in cash. Rather, we had deposits taken from them. And we would just collect the money, keep the profits, and after 90 days, pay back to our manufacturer. The money was not required. Capital was solved, so all the four things were solved. In a minute, we were a company running and growing leaps and bounds. But all this party did not last very long. This castle of cards started crumbling when the manufacturer could not supply the goods on time, when the manufacturer could not supply in the desired quantities, in the desired quality. And then one day he called up, he says that I want to raise my prices. So there were lots of problems that were inflicted by him. And then he says, I want to raise my price also. Despite that we had an agreement otherwise. He could not raise for the next 2 years. So I went to Delhi and we had a very tough fight. I abused him left, right and center. And you know, we Punjabis are very good at abusing. And this guy also did not take it so easily. He says, I don't want to work. So whatever that verbal agreement we had came to a standstill and the company was closed. I went into depression and for 2 months there was no activity. A lot of phone calls, but no activity. But after 2-3 months, that when I took a stock of the situation, you know what I felt? The situation is not that bad as I had initially felt. I had about 30-40 odd dealers who were annoyed, yes, but still had faith in me. I had some capital in hand and I had $1 million experience of the real business. And the more important, the realization that the product is actually in demand and the business can actually work. So one realization I got from here was that I have to go back, do this product again, but this time with a difference. I will manufacture my product in my own production unit. So I arranged for a small room, industrial shed, because now I had some insight of the know-how. Working with this manufacturer, I knew how this product was being made. So, and a fresh start was made. It was very different than initial days. Because initial days was something like, you know, the kind of experience all I had was seeing a Hindi movie, a hero would start a business and in a fortnight he would become so rich. So that was the only experience I had for business. But this was tough. This was different. Actually going into manufacturing would mean a lot of money was required. I had some money I had put into machines. 7th of every month was very difficult. Loans were not available. But then I got lucky one day when there was a Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana. So they would distribute 1 lakh rupees to all who were startups. I was lucky to get one of them. And you know, the best thing that I did was that I returned that loan, every installment on time. That was in fact a great game changer for me. Because the director industries issued me a letter that you are a great entrepreneur, that you're returning your loan on time. Because out of the 100 that they got along with me, none returned back the money. I was the only one. And then because of that letter, I also got a plot in my name. And then we thought of, you know, redoing the entire thing again. We constructed our factory from the loan that we got from the bank. And now we were very clear in our mind that we have to have a vision, a value system on which we would run the company. So this value system that we wrote when we actually started our own unit, it had 5 elements. First was that we would have very high ethical standards. Second was that we would work for customer delight, which would mean the highest quality and affordable cost and product delivered on time, what we call as QCD, quality, cost and delivery. So we said we will have the highest in the world. Then we would be technology driven. So we thought that we have a state-of-art manufacturing, state-of-art design center, and very tech-oriented capability and management tools. We would use world-class management fundamentals to run this company. And the fifth element that we took as a value system was that we'll be very people-centric, because we feel that people are the ones who actually make and run the companies. So we would give them the best environment for their growth. So the road ahead was now defined. We went in for lean management systems. We went in for ISO quality system. We went in for all the concepts of TQM, total quality management, 5S, 3M, JIDOKA, POKA-UK, value stream mapping. All these are part of lean management. And the market also responded so well. Our quality was actually was being appreciated by all. We actually grew leaps and bounds. And now the foreign orders also started coming. And by using that simple philosophy of 5 steps, 5 value systems, which we took it in letter and spirit, our market grew well. And let me tell you what TynorOrthotics is today. See, TynorOrthotics is doing about a turn of about 250 crores with 1,400 employees. We export to 50 countries. We have about 1,500 distributors in India, about 100 distributors outside India. And out of the market size of 1,400 crores that the India is doing, we are number 1. TynorOrthotics is the fastest growing company in the entire medical device arena in India. It is also the most certified and the most awarded company. So TynorOrthotics is regarded as a leader in the industry in terms of quality, in terms of efficiency, in terms of ethics, and in terms of good practices. We were the first one to have an R&D center in orthopedic appliances, which we called as Tornado. So Tornado stands for TynorOrthotics Research and Appliance Development Organization. So this company that we started with less than 1 lakh rupees, not even like 50,000 rupees, today is valued much more than 1,500 crores. I would like to tell you briefly that what were the game changers in the whole journey of 22 years. First was the implementation of ISO 9001. This is when our company became organized because of this system. Second was adopting lean management system, what we also call as Toyota production system. This is the system which gave us the quality, efficiency, and morale of the workers. All these terms that I mentioned, TQM, 5S, 3M, value stream mapping, POKA-UK, Kaizen, they all come from this bundle called as lean management. And one beautiful thing that I would like to tell you, which changed a lot of things for us, was a game changer, that we became 100% ethical in 2007. You know what it means? Maybe it doesn't mean anything for anybody, but yes, it means a lot for an organization to grow big. Only ethical people grow big. So when we became ethical, I will tell you later that what does ethical mean when we say 100% ethical. So then in 2008, we became a very modern, we started using modern techniques in product design. So we had a 3D modeling system, what we call SolidWorks and AutoCAD and everything, that made our products look much better than the rest of the world. In 2009, we became a very measurement-driven company. You know, we are a very lean, minimalistic in our approach and very sharp output-oriented company, which came from what we call as measurement-driven company. In our company, we measure 150 indices, right? One of the indices, of course, the most important may be EBITDA or PAT, but then there are so many others to actually control all the processes of the company, like ITR, inventory turnover ratio, like our rejection ratio. So this is how we control every aspect of our business. Then in 2010, we became a very strong HR company in terms of delegation, in terms of that we thought that people are the most critical elements. So they bring in knowledge, and we became a knowledge-driven company because of our people drive. So we started also sharing our profits with our employees. That changed a lot of things for us, because then they would behave not like employees, but as partners. And our efficiencies, our growth almost doubled that year. Then in 2010, we had a joint venture with a French company, TynorOrthotics. TynorOrthotics is the world's top 4 company in the same field. They came to India and they found us. So because of them, of course, we learned a lot. We got a lot of money. And then the company became altogether very organized, a very sort of a mid-sized, sort of a very cash-rich company. And thereafter, we've been taking a lot of goal changer efforts. Like we went in for major expansion in 2016, where we hired about, in a single go, 600 people. We today have about 1,400 people. Then we also implemented SAP in our company, which is again a big thing, because only large companies are able to run on SAP softwares, ERP. And then this year we are planning to make the Asia's largest manufacturing unit in Mohali. So we have already started it, and by the next 2 years, by the grace of God, we will be able to complete the project, which will be Asia's largest, which will employ about 5,000 people. And it has a layout of about 200 crores. I tell you, a few policies which have really helped us in our growth, which is very important, because sometimes small anecdotes and small policies and small things, they help us, those who are wanting to go into business, those who want to start their own companies. So I have seen that companies who are wedded to quality can only stay in the longer run. That's the key element. Second is that customer delight should be the single point agenda. We exist because of our customers. Third is that we should always do a SWOT of our businesses and keep checking the business regularly. Never be complacent. Then employees are the biggest assets with their confidence. Continuous improvement should be a way of life. Next, if a big leap is not possible, then take a baby step, but keep moving. Because I feel that action gives you confidence and dispel your fears. The next is that small efforts add up to big results. I'm so sorry, I have a sore throat. Other thing which I strongly believe is that do not invent the wheel, even if you're very intelligent, but learn to put it to right use. Only planned activity yield results. So please do the planning very nicely. I also say that dreaming is very good. Dream big, but putting the plans in black and white will only help you realize your dreams. So till it is here in your mind, nothing happens. As soon as you are writing it on a piece of paper, your dream moves a step towards realization. The last, I would like to say that nothing is impossible. The biggest goal can be achieved sometimes earlier than thought if you are committed. I tell you, these are very small piece of advice, and nowadays you get plenty in WhatsApp every day from everybody. But start noting down a few of them, those which matter to you, and then stick to them. So, before I end, I would like to say 2-3 things more. One is that passion. Without passion, you cannot be an entrepreneur. So if you are really passionate, you should jump. If you are not, don't do it. Second, I tell you that it's always the destiny, which is very important. But how does the destiny play with you, help you? I feel that when you actually work selflessly, with compassion for others, luck favors you, and the Almighty showers His blessings. I tell you, in my case, one reason that why I chose the product to manufacture was that it was a very labor-intensive product. So labor-intensive means that lots of problems also. But most businessmen, they don't want to go into labor-intensive products. But I was so happy, I was excited that my business would give job to a lot of people. So I would work for the underprivileged, women particularly, unskilled people sitting at homes. So we have an institute inside the company and we teach them the skills. So that is why I think one reason for our success. Ethics. I told you earlier also that ethics is one of the key pillars why TynorOrthotics grew, became the fastest growing company. So what does ethics mean to us? First of all, not paying anything underhand to the doctors for prescribing our products. Second, not paying to government officials anything underhand when they come and visit us. Next is that paying our taxes as per the norms. I tell you, each one of them has a profound effect, a positive effect. That is why TynorOrthotics grew. Because if you are corrupt, you do not perfect yourself. Whereas when you are not corrupt, you know that this official will come, ask for money, you have to be perfect. And when you are perfect, it helps you to grow. Similarly, not paying to the doctors, we were sure doctor would not prescribe unless we are a great product. So we worked on our R&D, on our product improvement, and eventually became much better company as compared to our competition. And indirectly, even this helped us a lot. Not paying our taxes was again very important. We got our foreign collaboration only because we were very ethical, and that helped us grow big. The last, I think, is the most important, which is being positive and progressive. I tell you, all through this lockdown, we were not working for 40 days because everybody holed up in their houses. But yes, TynorOrthotics was still working. We developed in the first 2 days a system from work from home. So all our seniors, yes, of course, the workers could not come, but all our seniors were working from home. And if they could not, they were improving their competence. So the capability building was being done sitting at their home. So when they came back, they were much better, much competent people. They were full of energy because they had done so many courses in those 40 days and they were better. Not only that, we made a policy of work from home, and then once we had a successful policy of work from home, we appointed 2 professionals, one sitting in Italy and the second in Gurgaon. Now these otherwise would have, it was not possible for us because they were not ready to move to our premises in Mohali. So just Corona and this lockdown helped us, start this new way of working, that was work from home. And the third, what this lockdown gave? A big hope to everybody. Why the business perhaps is coming, there's a deluge of business towards India. Maybe there's a lot of anti-China sentiments. And all these things Corona gave us, though not a good time. Yes, we have harsh times ahead, but yes, there is a positiveness and there's still a progressive thought going on. And all these three things which I'm mentioning actually gave us a good jump when we came back in May. Today, when I'm talking to such big gathering of people who would definitely want to be entrepreneurs, because there's abundant opportunity. India is just the right place. Believe me, you are so lucky since you are graduating or planning to go into business when the Indian economy is going to get very big. There's going to be a major growth curve after the Corona thing dies. There are endless opportunities to strike big as an entrepreneur. And let me tell you, India is going to be the industrial hub of the world. China no longer would rule the world. And this is the time when most of the billionaires would come from India. Just see the next 5 years, they're going to be very bright. So I'm so happy to see that so many people on this webinar. This is the right time, this is the right place, and some of you are the right people to become those celebrities and those billionaires. So all the best to all of you. It was such nice gathering, such a big gathering, who perhaps would have understood how small businesses can be grown into big. And it is always the same story for everybody. Initial hard grind, and then a lot of success, a lot of happiness, a lot of satisfaction. So with these words, I would like to take a goodbye, and I would like to say that all the best to you in your endeavors. We are lucky to be in India. And once again, I would like to thank Dr. Geeta and all the organizers for inviting me here. Thank you.
Please stay with us for a while. And sir, one of the compliments from Dr. Savneet, one of our participants, is that your honest and simple ways have touched the heart of all the participants. A big virtual applause for you, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
I'm honored.
And what is the takeaway? The takeaway is that the best one, and I believe firmly in that only ethical people grow big. And seeing is believing. The best thing is, sir, even after 8 years, I met you just once. I came to your factory, and even after 8 years, 10 years, that imprint of a person is still there on your mind, is motivating you. That is the best success story that can be. The way you had motivated me at that time, and the other participants of that FDP, again organized by Dr. Paramjit Singh, RCED. This is again the same story that is being repeated. So I request you, sir, so please do keep extending this as your CSR.
Yeah.
And at that time also, the best thing that I saw was that, yes, the good manufacturing practices, your care for your workers, you're installing ACs for them, giving them medical facilities, medical help to whoever required. Yes, your efficiency increased because you were sharing profits, and your people-centric ways, they are worth, जिसे कहते हैं हम प्रणाम करते हैं इस थॉट प्रोसेस को. अगर सब एम्प्लॉयर्स ऐसे हो जाएं तो कोई घर पे नहीं जाना चाहेगा, उसका काम ही उसका पूजा, उसका ईश्वर हो जाएगा. और उसके बाद पैशन, ये जो भी आप कर रहे हैं सर, वो बिना पैशन के हो ही नहीं सकता. एक सेल्फलेस पैशन, and compassion. And I still remember your progressive thought process that at that time also you said that you are ready for Industria Academy partnership. The only thing is it must be time bound and result oriented. That was so right. Wonderful approach. थैंक यू सो मच सर. और इसके बाद मैं एक बात और कहूंगी कि हमेशा कंडीशंस कंड्यूसिव हो ही नहीं सकती. ध्रुव को भी आज हम इसलिए जानते हैं और पूरे आसमान में वो अलग ही चमकता है क्योंकि अगर कोई भी उसकी स्टोरी जो भी जानता होगा वो जानता होगा कि वो किस पथ पे वो चला है और किन कंडीशंस में वो चला है. वो कंडीशंस एडवर्स थी तभी वो ध्रुव बन पाया. तो हम सब भी वो ध्रुव तारे हैं जो उस आसमान में, और सर ने बहुत सही कहा मेरा भारत महान, इसी भारत में. और अगेन जो हमने शुरुआत में पहला सेंटेंस था कि अब समय आ गया है आत्मनिर्भर बनने का, स्वावलंबी बनने का, वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट सर आपने आज फुलफिल कर दिया है. थैंक यू सो मच सर. थैंक्स अ लॉट.